All right, start of the second half here. Lost Wales 2-1. Oyster, Penny, Molyneux, Langen, Delaney. Ryan wins this in deep for Kai. Gives chase. Ryan with the hit. Langen with the puck. Langen D to Parker. Parker cross ice for Ryan. Ryan in his feet. Turned over to St. Louis. St. Louis chips in deep. Chase plays this off the bounce. Rims it. Cut off by St. Louis. Hits the side of the net. Kai chips this out. Puck in deep. Chase gets a piece of this. Parker with the rest of it. Parker to Langen. Moves it along for Kai. Kai chips for Antea. Antea pulls it out of the rough skates. Goes wide. Got Ryan in the middle. Antea ran off this puck. Jake moves it up to Andrew. Andrew sends a shot through over the net. Granville picks this up. Sends it down low. Puck rims around. Liam down in the corner for it. Turns over to St. Louis. Or Andrew steps rather. Keeps it in momentarily. Now St. Louis throws it out through the middle. Granville throws it in deep. Gay on the forecheck. Goalie passes it around. Ball cuts it off. St. Louis can't get this out. Antea keeps it in. Jake down to Easton. Easton centers one for Antea. Doesn't connect. Comes to St. Louis. Backhanded out of the zone. Goes wide. Sends it in deep. Andrew combines with two. Ball with the puck. Through Day's feet. Out of the zone. Icing. Dylan, Ryder, Hart, Coop, Stink. This off St. Louis. D. Shot blocked by Dylan. Hart ties it up. St. Louis comes over with it. Fink pokes it free. Dylan on it. Dylan up ahead. Misses Fink. Icing. St. Louis wins this draw. D rims it around. Hart with the hit. St. Louis with the puck. Behind the net. Rimmed up top. Dylan pokes this away. Dylan in around. Dylan trip. Fox to the power play. Stop one by St. Louis. Up to the point. Parker holds it in. Out of his own. Offside. Draw one. Parker with it. Moves it back to Andrew. Andrew heads up ice with it. Over to Parker. Parker drags it in. Centers one. Hits a stick. Goes into the corner. Andrew down for it. Keeps it down low. Eyes it up along the boards. Moves it in the corner. Gets ran off his puck. Gets help from Dylan. Dylan cycles. Taken by St. Louis and rimmed around to Ryan. Ryan moves it up to Parker. Parker crosses one down to Ryan. Ryan at the hash mark. Centers one. Misses Dylan. Parker with it. To the middle. To Ryan. Enters. Shots for Ryder. Over for Andrew. Andrew in the corner. Moves it up top for Ryder. Ryder up to Parker. Archer drops to Ryan too far out of the zone. Over to Adams. Adams drags this through. Moves it to Parker. Parker splits the G. Ball in the help. St. Louis comes away with it. 30 seconds left on the power play. That's thrown down. Hits Andrew. Or rather, hits Kai. Chase way over for it. Plays this out of the zone. Langen can't get there. Kai pokes it away. Right to St. Louis. So shot. Tipped wide by Kai. Loose behind the net. Langen with the hit. Up rimmed around. Langen picks this up. He's got Penny up ahead. He's doing 10 seconds left on the power play. Penny off the boards. Kusta was changing. Andrew picks it up. That will do it for the power play. Icing. Thea, Hart, Snorrington, Grochalk, Fink, Coops. One too many. Grochalk off. Box thrown out. Kalen to take the draw. Loses this. Puck rim down low. Hart's first one there. Chips it ahead for Antea. Antea escapes with it. Got Kale up ahead. Throws one not far enough for him. Puck in deep though. St. Louis through the middle. In on Hart. Pokes this away. Rimmed up to the point. Through the D. Through the middle. Chase with the save. Hart's on it. Tied up. Oops. Pulls this out. Tries to kick it to himself. Turned over. Shot Chase with the glove save. Ball, Adams, Lightfield, Granville, Crochalk, puck. Kept in by St. Louis. Dealing with it. Takes a look. Tosses one off the boards for Ball. Too far. St. Louis with it. Dillon with the hit. Puck the ball. Ball with the hit. Puck out of the zone. Chip past Granville. 2-on-1 now. Shot over the net. Lewis. In deep. Chase with it. Backhand hit. Oh, it hits Andrew. Turned over. Scramble in front. Ball on it. Ball backhand this through the middle. Touched by St. Louis. Adams pitches in deep. Going up ahead. Bot. Granville blocks this pass, chips it out through the middle. Chip back in deep. St. Louis has to touch up. Granville picks this up with time. Jack takes a look. Drops for Andrew. Andrew through the middle. Kai backhands to Ryan. Ryan enters. Shot saved. Pops right out to Kai off his stick. Kai with it behind the net. Ryan backhander loose. Covered. Save. Same 5. Puck won by St. Louis. Chipped around. Ryan ties him up. St. Louis exits with it. Through Langen's feet. In on Parker. Offsides. It's off one. St. Louis. Sent in deep. Chase with it. Moves it over to Parker. Parker through the middle. Hits Day. Day goes wide. Sent in deep. Ball picks it up. St. Louis with it. Through the middle. Doesn't connect. That's going to be an icing. Ryan, Ryder, and Dylan out now. Langen and Durley. Ryan wins this. Adams doesn't get a shot. St. Louis with it. East side. Dylan with the hit. Parker bats this down. St. Louis takes it. Ryan on it. Drops for Parker. He sends one through. Save. Hartz, Dylan, Ryder, Costa, Fink. Takes off into the netting. Takes off. St. Louis. D to D. Poked away by Hartz, then in deep. St. Louis D picks this up. Goes to his partner. Cross ice to the middle. Tipped in deep. Scoops. Off the glass. Out of the zone. Chip past Dylan. St. Louis sends this in. Chase plays this. St. Louis takes it. Shot. Save. Loose. Saved again. Dylan knocks it. Not out of the zone. Backdoor shot. Doesn't make it through. Scoops with the hit. St. Louis with the puck. On low. Scoops on it. Chips it up for Adams. Fumbles this. Tries to get the Hart's. Hart's taken down. And Lewis with the puck. They enter the zone. Shot hits the post. Comes to ball. Skates this out. Easton goes wide. Easton on his back end. Shot scores! Ryan, Kai, Braxton, Granville, Prochop. Chase behind the net, rims this around for Braxton. Tries to kick it through to Ryan. Ryan enters the middle, goes wide, has that poked off his stick. Kai can't get there, Penny fans on it. Cross ice pass, he's in past Granville, shot, Chase glove save. Pass doesn't connect out of the zone, and Tay skates into it. Poked off his stick, Jay gets it back, goes wide. Centers one to Easton, doesn't connect. Jay, for Taya, side of the net, save. Taya in the corner, pokes this away, gets it back, has his stick tied up. St. Louis takes it away. They exit with speed through the middle, connects, taken away by Hart. Hard, knocks this in deep, gets Chase. Through the middle, that's going to be caught by St. Louis. Wow, he beat it out the icing. Wraparound attempt save. Parker rims this around. Tail with it. Through the middle, it hits Dylan's stick, goes to St. Louis. Soft chip all the way down. Parker with it. Parker enters the zone. Goes wide. Ran off this puck. Hard. Pink with it. Back end of the long. Lewis. Kicks through the middle. Dylan with the hit. Frees this up. Pink on the puck. Pink sends one in. Ooh, surprises the goalie. Dylan with the hit. Kai with the puck. Kai's got Dylan down low. He doesn't see him. Ryan does though. Sends one through the crease. Oops. Keeps this in. Gives it to Ryan. Ryan drags around. Kai wants the puck. Ryan gives it to him now. Kai back to Ryan. Ryan side of the net. Behind the net. Uses Coops as a pitch. Ryan still with it. Ryan in the middle shot. Save. Ryan, Kai, Braxton, Lang, and Krochop. Face off one to Langen. Walks down low. You want him, move it, Scott. Kai sends one, two, scores! Adams, Ball, and Taya. Krochop, Langen. And Lewis with it. And Taya turns him over. Ball skates into his puck. Easton around the hit. Tries to center one to Adams, taken away by St. Louis. Adams with it behind the net. Or not Adams, it's Taya rather. Adams shoots though, save. And Taya poked away by St. Louis. Adams with the hit. Puck comes to Jake. Drug through his feet, out of the zone. Puck in deep. Chase off the boards. Backhands it to Langen. Langen pitches in deep. Hits a St. Louis glove. Cycles. Penny picks this up. Penny behind the net. Penny still with it. Centers one for Hartz. Shot goes wide. Penny with the contact, still with the puck. This is puck pops just past Hartz. Chipped out of his zone. I think. Penny, Day, Hartz, Delaney, Coops. St. Louis wins this draw, rims around. Hartz gets his poke past him. Gets it back though. Hartz enters. He's got Penny with him. Hartz shoots just wide. Comes to Liam through the middle. Hartz puts it in the corner. Rimmed around. Coops sends this down low. Chip past Day. St. Louis with it. Out of the zone. Parker picks this off. Throws it through the middle. Taken by St. Louis. Connects far side. Parker with the hit. Puck rimmed around. Ryan takes a hit. Moves the puck along. Coops to Kai. Got Dylan with him. Drops the Coops. Shot over the net. Ryan. Knuckle puck over the net. Glove save. Ryan, Dylan, Kai, Andrew, Fink. To the point. Fink with it. Down for Dylan. Sends a shot through. Glove save. It's now tied up. Dylan with it. Dylan turns. Cycles for Kai. Moves it up for Fink. Sends one through. Glove save. It's off one by St. Louis. Kai with the hit. St. Louis with the puck. Ryan moves it along. St. Louis can't clear. Dylan rims it. Nope. Now it's out of his zone. Dylan picks this up. Cuts to the middle. Kai gets back on side. Dylan in. Dylan goes wide. Tries to center one to Ryan. Hits a body. Ryan picks this up. Ryan walks in. Tries to center one to Kai. Goalie gets a piece of this. St. Louis out of the zone. Andrew steps. Pokes this. Gets it back. Chips one to Ryan. Bouncing puck. He moves it into Kai. Kai enters. Drops to Andrew. Shot just wide. Up into the netting. All Adams, Thornton, Coops, Langham. It's up one. St. Louis. Chips through the middle. Langham. Backhands. Indy. Ball gets chased. St. Louis backhands along. Adams. In the corner. Tied up. Dale in to help. Pops is free. St. Louis takes it. Pass connects. They exit. Around Coops. Coops keeps him out wide. Centering pass doesn't connect. Adams gets a stick on this. Wins around. Behind Chase. Kale Costa over for it. Goes through the middle. Hits a stick. Back into the corner. Cross-side pass. Shot. Tip. Loose. Corner. Lewis still with it. Travels through the crease. Bounces out to the D. Adams. Forces him to dump it deep. Hoops is tied up. Puck comes to Langen. Langen flips this. Glove down by St. Louis. Box changes. In on Fink. Fink with the hit. Ryan with the puck. Got Kai and Dylan up ahead. Rips one over. No icing. Kai ties this up. Dylan with the hit. Puck chipped into Ryan. Ryan backhands one through, looking for Dylan, taken by St. Louis. Dylan forces a pass. St. Louis through the middle, tipped by Ryan, tipped by St. Louis. Enters, Kai kicks this to himself, backhands to Dylan. Dylan backhands it in deep. D to D. Through the middle, connects. Shift around. Parker rims for Dylan. Dylan D steps in there, takes it away. Arts not out. Comes back to Fink. Gets it to Dylan. Dylan's got Day up ahead. He gathers. Day enters. Goes to the middle. Shot is blocked. Day ridden off this puck. Arts with the hit. Up with Langen now behind the net. Cycles for Krochal. Langen. Parts. Off the boards. Day brings this in the zone. Puts in the corner. Backhands one right to the middle of the St. Louis. Lewis, D to D, gets a round ball. Langen out for the races, gets a stick on this. Ball comes away with it. Got Penny through the middle, glove down. Penny chases after it, picks it up. Drops for a ball, shot just over the net. Comes to Coops. Coops sends one through. Just misses Braxton, stick in front of the net. Adams picks it up in the corner, evades the hit. Gets help from Penny. Puck comes up to Delaney. Parker down low. Chip past Adams. Parker sends it side of the net. Lewis with it. Throws through the middle. Hits a stick. Parker with this. Rims it for Coops. Coops up ahead to Antea. Sent in deep. Goalie fumbles this. Ryan on it. Sends one through the middle. Hits Antea. Pops free. Puck's kept in. Kai picks this up in the corner. Kai evades the hit. Off loose in the middle. St. Louis pulls it out. Chips around Andrew. Fink over for it. Gets a stick on it. Puck up in the air. Andrew gloves it down. Skates it around. He's got Dylan up ahead. Hits him. Dylan's got Kai with, off Dylan's stick. Kai and Dylan. And Lewis takes this. Kai with the hit. Ryan with the puck. Ryan in the slot. Shot just over the net. Dylan back in. Ryan back in. Loose. Goalie covered. Hard today. Thornton, Krochal, Fink. It's up in the corner. Day gets chased. And Lewis comes out with the puck. Up in deep. Offsides. Another offensive zone draw here for Fox. Game 5. Face off, tied up, moved in the corner. St. Louis on it. Tail with the hit. Puck pops three to Fink. Can't keep it in. There's Andrew. Chips it in deep. Tail touches up. Heads right back in. Through the middle. Picked off by Day. Enters with Tail. Day throws the brakes on shot. Loose. Tail saved. Covered. Face off. St. Louis loose in front. Now behind the net. Shift around. Bad bounce off the boards. Gets around Braxton. Net back in. Goalie touches this for his D. Lewis drops this back. Off the boards. Taken by Ball. Ball rims around hard. And he's going to get there first. Kicks it to himself. Too far. And Lewis with it behind the net. Going through the middle. Parker gets a stick on this. Langen with it at center ice. Cycles one along. St. Louis takes this. Drag. It's a piece of it. Still in the zone. St. Louis with it. Side of the net. Chase for the save. Face off. Fox throws it up the boards. Kai kicks it through the middle. Doesn't connect with Ryan. Ryan beats his man though. Gets the puck. Chips it to Kai. Kai flips in deep on net. Goalie owning the corner. Puck out of the zone. In on Chase. No icing. Oh, no, it is icing. Stop one. Kai tries to drag it through. Hits the linesman's skate. Puck up in the air. Kai, first one there. Up to Costa. Costa sends one through. Doesn't make it all the way. Stopped by St. Louis. Off the board. Connects behind Costa. Chase. I don't know if he got a piece of this, but it went over the net. Puck up in the air. Andrew ties him up along the end boards. It's up from Costa. Andrew drags it through the middle. Turned over. Gets it back. Rolling puck. St. Louis comes away with it. Shot. Ryan stops this in the crease. Ryan flips this off the boards for Dylan. Not out. Dylan ties up. St. Louis pulls it out. Chips past Andrew. Gets in the middle. Coops pokes it wide. Puck along the end board. St. Louis centers one. Goes directed behind Chase. On the other corner now, center. Doesn't hit him. Dylan pulls this out. He's off to the races. Rolling puck. Dylan on a breakaway. Shoots. Scores! Face off. Gets by Delaney. St. Louis in. Shot. Chase saves. St. Louis pulls their goalie. Chipped into the bench by St. Louis. Adams, Ball, Penny, Delaney, Fink. Goalie back in net now. Lewis with it. Goalie heads to the bench again. Chase rims this around. In deep, Ball, Fink. St. Louis rims it deep. Buck takes a bad hop, goes all the way around into the middle. Ball swipes at this. St. Louis picks it up, D side. Drop pass, doesn't connect, now it does. Takes this behind his net. Pass, Ryan gets a piece of this, Andrew on it. Andrew flips this high, doesn't hit anything. Lands, comes to Andrew, he's on the empty net. Gloved away by St. Louis. Oh, Ryan gets a piece of this pass through the middle. Comes to Kai. Kai shoots, scores. Top one, Kale tips this to Fink. Fink rips in deep. Side of the net, St. Louis with it, behind the net now. Through the middle. On the net, rimmed around for Day, picks this up. Tries to move it, fumbles it, turned over. Day back on it. Moves this in deep. St. Louis with it. Puck hits Kale stick, goes in deep. Oops, cycles. Starts with the hit puck. Down low, through the middle. St. Louis, backhands along. Shot, chase save. Loose. Side of the net, behind the net. Coops off the glass. Out of the zone. Sent right back in by St. Louis. Mink with the puck. Quarantea tips around, gets it, enters the zone. Jake through the middle is looking for Hartz, doesn't connect. Hartz picks this up in the corner. Round one takes the hit. Adams tries to drag through the feet. Can't. Puck with St. Louis. Langen with the hit. Jack with the puck. Ties this up. Puck loose in front of the St. Louis bench. D to D. Puck chipped in deep, and that will do it. Fox goes 3-1 on the weekend. Fox will have 2 home games next Saturday. Chicago Reapers come to town. So hopefully we'll see you at Southside.